Yeah, so welcome to the podcast. It's great to
Yes.
have you on. It's been a long time coming.
Yes.
So I guess to begin with, just tell us a bit more about yourself, how you end up in Cambodia. That's always a good place to start.
Well, I'm Shasne Su. I mean, it's like my short, but my full name is quite hard to pronounce. I'm Shasne Su Leimanova. So I shortened it a bit for the Asian market, like Shasne Su. Let me introduce myself. Yeah, I'm a fashion stylist. I'm editor. I do a lot of things, right? I'm more like PR and marketing person in the Cambodian scene. How I end up in Cambodia is like probably very common situation back then when it was COVID. I lived before in China. I used to live in Beijing, so
Okay.
I was just traveling to Siem Reap. So my first destination was actually Siem Reap, and then I stuck because
Wow.
I just landed, and then maybe in a few days China closed the border for foreigners, and yeah, that was very unexpected. And that time I was like, even didn't know what Cambodia is. I just heard about Angkor Wat, Lara Croft. That's the only goal
Yeah.
was visiting. And now it turned into 5 years because
5 years.
actually this month I'm celebrating 5 years anniversary being in Cambodia.
Wow.
I landed in 18th of March 2020.
18th of March. Okay.
Yes, I didn't even remember the day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anniversary, so now I'm celebrating anniversary 5 years.
Yeah, I'm similar. I arrived September 2020, so nearly
Okay,
5 years.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally arrived like when the COVID did not yet started here,
Right.
but yeah, it was like way before. So it wasn't by choice, but then it's turned into like very beautiful journey, I could say. Maybe like if you know me or you like follow my social media. So yeah, it's quite a beautiful experience here.
And before diving into that, tell us more about your background. Like, where are you originally from? Where did you grow up?
So yeah, a lot of Cambodian call me like they think I'm Konkat, which means mixed, right? Mixed Khmer Barang. But I'm originally from Crimea. Why I say like from that part? Because my nationality is I belong to one of the ethnic group. My nationality is a Crimean Tatar, and so we are only like 500,000 Crimean Tatars in the world. So I'm very proudly
Wow.
saying I'm a Crimean Tatar. Our roots coming from Mongolia. So that's why I look a bit like Caucasian. That's why
Yes.
probably in Southeast Asia they think I'm half Asian. Yeah, so I'm from that part.
And where do most of that ethnic group live? Like, do they all live in Crimea
So
still?
that's why they called Crimean Tatar. It's really particular that region. There are a lot of different kind of like Tatars, like Kazan Tatars in Russia, because Russia is very diverse. We have
Yeah.
so many different nationalities, and yeah, that's why I'm saying like I'm Crimean Tatar, very proud of it. And we also go through a lot of hard times, genocide, and all of that. So now I'm like proudly really saying that, and I really want to keep it as my ethnicity,
Right.
my nationality, my origin.
Yeah, I mean I studied a bit of history at university, and the amount of wars that have been fought over Crimea is
Yes,
quite
a lot.
quite a lot.
Yeah. We go through a lot. We were independent like very long time ago. Then we, politically wasn't part of one country, then another country. So we go through a lot. But that's why I want to keep it like this. I'm introducing myself that I'm from Crimea,
Right.
and I'm actually Crimean Tatar. That's why.
And how is everything back home? How is everything going?
Well, it's insane that I haven't been back home 6 years, which is like long, like really long period. My mom was visiting Cambodia 2 years ago, just because like it's really hard not to see your family. But I haven't
Right.
been seeing my relatives, my grandparents, because it's very hard for them to travel that
Right.
far, and it's quite far. And because the political situation right now, let's say the airport's closed, right, in the south region, so we need to go Moscow, then go
Right.
by train. But it's fine. 'Cause people living there, it's just like I think everything is okay. Life is going.
Right.
People doing their work, their jobs. Like
Right, it's
living
not an
their
actual.
life.
It's not an actual.
It's just
part of the
between. That's
conflict,
why,
right?
just
Yeah.
between, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all fine. That's
Yeah.
why my family, they always were staying there and never moved.
And I do hear it's actually like the beaches are beautiful and
Oh
it's
yeah,
a
my
nice part.
hometown is on the Black Sea.
Is on the Black Sea.
Yeah, because Crimea is surrounded by two seas, is Azov Sea and Black Sea, and my hometown is like very touristic place, like Siem Reap.
Yeah.
But my hometown is Yevpatoria. Is very famous for I don't know how it's called, like health mud. So it's like mud, for
Yeah.
health,
Oh, yeah.
health
Okay.
of health for people with health issues, especially for kids, like
Yeah.
they have asthma or something, all those diseases. That's why during summertime, a lot of kids from all over the Russia, from overseas, coming to my hometown, and they have like a huge touristic like destination, and Black Sea, of course. But the funny fact about me, I cannot swim.
Okay. Yeah.
I cannot swim because so one of the reason is like because my hometown is very like hyped during the summertime. So whenever
Too many people. There's too many
too
people on the
many
beach.
people. When you go to the beaches, you're like you don't know where to step on, So that's why I cannot swim. Like a lot of Khmer I know also cannot swim.
Yes, yeah. It is
me
kind of
too.
yeah. I think then it's also a lot to do with like the fact that like I guess like historically being outside too much was like deemed like not a desirable thing, right? And getting getting too much sun, right? So so people just didn't like. Whereas like when a European goes on holiday, they're like, I've got to get my tan on. I've got to like lie in the sun. Whereas for Asians, they're like,
but it's very different. Yeah, same for I know like Russia itself is very like different from Europe, different from Asia. I would say Russia is Russia. It's a huge country, very diverse, so many nationalities. Even we are in the middle, like Asia and Europe side. So for Russians, it's very trendy to be tanned.
Right.
So it means like it's in Asia. If you are wealthy, you are rich. If you are like white skin,
Yes, yeah.
But in Russia, if you are tan, it means you can go on holidays,
Yeah, exactly.
like Maldives, all those countries, Dubai. So it's a very different mindset.
Yeah, it's switched.
It's switched.
Yeah, I've always thought. I mean, Russia is an amazing country. Been through so much. Like, I think a lot of people forget. Like, with everything that's going on today, like how much linkages there have been. Between in World War One, World War Two. Like Russia was on the all on the same side, and now it's like kind of switched a little bit, but I think it'll all be reconciled at some point, and everyone will try to be friends again.
I honestly, from my point of view, I never, when people ask me like, oh, do you prefer this country, that country? It's very sensitive, of course, for me. But I have my opinion. The only thing I know, I'm creative, right? I'm a creative person, so I'm more focusing on how knowledgeable country is, how much art, a country has, and Russia, ballet number one, art, avant-garde artist, I don't know, singer, scientist. First, go to the spaceship. That's why it's it doesn't matter what's going on in the politics always happening everywhere, not only in Russia, but everywhere. So for me, the most important that the countries really reach for the artistic side, scientific. Everything, and we've done a lot of things historically. We've done a lot of things first in the world, which is I'm very like also proud of being the part of this culture.
Yeah, I really wanted to do the Trans-Siberian Railway.
And I even haven't done it. It's amazing.
It looks amazing. And then sometimes you can go through Mongolia. That looks wonderful. But I've never been to Russia. I've always wanted to go. Of course, it's probably a little bit more complicated, I guess, these days. But I'm not actually. It's probably okay.
There is no much like
restrictions.
Yeah, restrictions.
Okay.
Unless you just open visa, and I think nowadays Russia is really like more open. I think because they want to really show like what's really going on, because the news war is the most powerful one. It's not always correct.
Right.
I know it from the inside because my family living there. We call each other, and pretty much like you can easily go anywhere. The most famous destinations is like popular destinations is Moscow, St. Petersburg. Crimea, I think it's very particular part, but all my friends say probably later we would love to go. I say yes, please let me know. We go together. I would love to show, because Crimea is beautiful. We have mountains, we have seas, we have lakes. It's amazing, really.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what made you want to? So you said you were in Beijing.
Yes.
Was that your first kind of place that you lived
Yes.
abroad?
Abroad,
And
yeah.
what was that like?
Well, back then, a lot of people like leaving their country, like seeking of the like new life or better life or something. I can't say that because back then, when I was like 21, I was quite so maybe Sevastopol.
Yes,
This
yes,
city
yeah,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
famous too. It's like on the same level as Moscow and St. Petersburg, quite in like the Russian fleet over there. So I was studying there. I was living there for around 6 years, and it's also I gained some kind of fame there too because my background, I'm like international journalist and social media communication, and we were doing our first ever like TV shows there, like among the young people, like this kind of Gen Z TV show, something like that. We were doing a lot of things, and yeah, it was quite well known, I would say, right? Well known and successful. I was a creative director for like the video production, like some other companies to promote, doing PR. And then, so China happened in my life because I just always, this young spirit. Oh, I want to live abroad.
Yeah.
So, and back then, because the situation and some sanctions, right, we only could go, probably easier go Asia, not Europe. But I go to international school. I study three languages, German, English, and French. So I was always targeting to go to Europe, but the political situation changed a bit. So I never speak Chinese before. And I'm like, okay, then China. And yeah, just like out of nowhere, I go to China and yeah, started to do like some PR career, started to do like fashion styling. That's actually the time I really was focusing, I really want to do fashion. Because, Crimea is small. Whole peninsula is like 2 millions only. So, of course, when I was in Beijing, it's such a, fashionable, everything like already like in the future. That time already first time, this one you can just scan QR and pay, I don't know, with palm, like now, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was very like life-changing experience. It was very hard back then. I didn't speak anything in Chinese, and
It's one of the countries where if you don't speak the language, it's complicated.
it's complicated because unfortunately they don't speak much English. Now it's a bit better, and Shanghai is a bit like more international.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that time I didn't know that, and I go to Beijing. And but the other thing, because their life is very like very easy, very easy to access. Subway, you just even can use your watch. Now is palm, right? Which is crazy. But before, just digital. You don't need have this human connection, human to human, right? It was a nice experience. It was hard. It was very new for me, and I'm very grateful for that. But it wasn't like very long. It's like around 1 year and a half,
Okay.
and then Cambodia.
And then Cambodia.
Very different,
Yes.
completely. Like my life changed upside down.
Okay, Cambodia. So, what was your first impression of? I mean, you started off in Siem Reap, which is an interesting
Yes.
place to start. But what was the what was the perception versus reality of the country when you arrived?
Well, back then I was like very like I'm like solo traveler. I always like to experience, to explore new destinations. I'm like traveling is like one of my favorite hobby, because the new country is a new perspective, the new culture, and it giving me like the like new fresh like breath. Then I can change something, maybe implement something to what I'm actually doing, something like this. Well, Cambodia was, I was in Thailand before Cambodia, and Thailand like have this, like I was in Chiang Mai, so Chiang Mai is quite probably similar to Siem Reap vibe
Right.
as well.
Bit more
Very, like a
relaxed,
lot
yeah.
of temples,
Yeah.
Spiritually. I like it, but that time, especially in Siem Reap, I would never imagine that I could live in this country. Because why I go to Beijing, why I go to those I like this city life. I like this, buzz. I like rush hours. I
Yeah.
like high pace of life. So I would never, imagine Cambodia as my place of my,
Right.
be based.
But then
there.
you went to Phnom Penh.
Then I went to Phnom Penh. It's not
which
like
is not much.
changed.
Yeah, not much. In
Not
2020, especially, like it was
Yeah.
a lot has changed in just
Yeah,
5 years, right?
of course.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
front of me, I just yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, I still couldn't believe. I was always thinking that probably, or maybe wait a bit, like in 1 month, China will reopen. Then, okay, maybe 2 months maximum. It didn't happen. It's
Yeah.
like 3 years China was closed. 3 years.
Right, you couldn't go back to China, what, until middle of
Yeah,
2023?
yeah, 2023.
Wow.
They just reopened like April or something to
It's crazy. It's
2023.
crazy to think, like, you're like
Because I have a lot of friends there, so they were like,
yeah, I almost forget, like you, I just like it because it was such a period, like you almost forget it that it even existed, right? It's like
Yeah,
it was this
COVID.
3 years of just madness, and then that was only 2 years ago
yeah.
that we were actually still dealing with all COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that time it was really, because back to even my hometown, right, to my country is like very developed, a very different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And Southeast Asia, it's like another world for me, and I never had this kind of environment before, and I couldn't believe that I would stay so long. It's already 5 years, and
How long do you
Yes,
think you're
hard.
gonna stay?
oh, it's very hard topic, because everyone calling me. It's not like calling me back home, but at least they want me visit for sure. I'm thinking about that because before I would never think like, I didn't think like, I want to go back or something. But now I'm just, homesick. I really want to go back to see my family, to hug my mom. Even though she was
Yeah.
2 years ago, it's still crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And before that time, it was 4 years I haven't seen her. It's really hard. It's really hard. And now I'm just only probably the more mature I am now and the more adulting, I feel like
Yeah, family becomes more important.
more important.
Yeah. Yeah, I do try. I try to go back at least once a year, but sometimes twice a year if possible. But I think it's going to be hopefully like when we've got this new airport opening in July, and hopefully that will make it a bit easier to just like fly.
Now I can see like
Yeah.
a lot of transit actually through the China to go to Russia.
Yeah,
So they
okay.
go to Moscow or St. Petersburg is easy because a lot of my friends from Moscow and St. Petersburg, they're actually traveling to Southeast Asia easily.
Yes.
Yeah, but Crimea, that Moscow is here and Crimea
probably like
is
at least 4 flights, right, to get there.
So like before.
Or train. Sorry, you said train. You can't even fly. Yeah.
Before it
yeah.
was flight was like 2.5 hours before from Moscow to Crimea.
To Crimea, okay.
Yeah, now it's more than 1 day train.
1 day train.
Yeah,
wow.
my mom was coming here and she spent 3.5 days.
Wow.
That's why my mom is like so brave. I'm
okay,
so
now I
grateful.
understand. Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
it's really hard for me like now even like how to plan it properly.
Yeah.
Because it's literally 4 days travel, forward and
Wow.
back. Like
Yeah, so you do have an airport there, but it's not.
it's not open
Right, of
at
course.
the moment.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
All the south part of Russian airports like close.
Yeah. Right, that makes
Like
sense.
for the security stuff.
Yeah.
Security reasons.
Okay, and so talk to me about your journey in Cambodia so far. What are you mostly working on? How did that all come together?
Yeah, well, people I think still don't know like what are you actually doing? Yeah, because I do a lot of things, and today I want our podcast really like be honest because a lot of people see my life from the perspective of social media,
Right.
which is very like probably like lavish,
Yeah.
bright, a lot of sparkles, diamonds, all of that. But it's actually not true. There is a lot of. It's not even like. It's not only about work behind. It's about the how at the moment I feel myself. Because 5 years in Cambodia, so I came here literally as a like very young person, right? Maybe not yet like completed in some ways of the thinking, right?
Right.
And but now I'm. I don't know if people know my age. Well, I'm 28,
Okay.
and this year I'm turning 29.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say for me because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so fast. It's so fast. Yeah. And nowadays, I feel like I do a lot of things, and my mental and physical health is not balanced as probably it wasn't like always like perfectly balanced, but at the moment, that's how I feel. And, not a lot of people on social media sharing it.
Right.
So now I'm first time actually like coming out to my audience and saying what I really feel like.
Right.
And I feel it's very important. A few days ago, I posted one story like talking about like how do I feel at the moment, and it was crazy how much feedback I got. And so many people like messaged me. Literally, I was crying when I was reading it because I thought like I'm the only one, who had this situation right now.
Yeah.
But there are so many people out there, and it's only part of my small part of my audience. It's actually not probably 10% of people who really can even come out with that and give you feedback, because that story got so much engagement.
Yeah.
Like one of the highest engagement for my social media thing. It's crazy. So many people like hearted it, so they even didn't message, but I got like more than 70 messages from one story, like when people sharing like how do they feel, and they feel the same. They feel burnout, they feel mentally unstable, physically unstable, because what I show on my social media, it's all about fashion, right? Luxury, I don't know, events. It looks so like bling bling, this Cambodian word about that. It looks so lavish, so easy, but it's so much deeper, how much work behind and how the person feel at the moment. So that's why now I'm really trying to come out with the point, like sharing how do I feel like, and how do I wanna like start to slowly change my change my physical and mental health, like to be better, because actually it's directly related to fashion, because fashion is about appearance, right? It's about the look, it's about appearance, and actually it's about self-confidence. So if person burn out and doesn't feel like comfortable, so what about self-confidence, and what about like what kind of fashion he can produce? So we can layer ourselves with the clothes, but I don't know, with makeup for girls, right? But
Can put on a good front.
yeah. Like it really helps for a moment. That's how I feel like pampered after salon or something.
Yeah.
It really helps me, but there is something more work deeper inside. So that's what I'm working in right now, and that's why for me this podcast is very important to show this, because everyone used to see me as this bubbly person, which I am. Yeah, this is my personality. I'm also Gemini. That's why I'm like very.
Gemini. Yeah,
I'm very extrovert. I'm like super extrovert.
Yeah.
But it's really, sometimes it also can hurt you in the way of, because not a lot of people accept it, and some people judge it. And when you're on social media, you should accept that you have haters, if we can say, because it's the reality. And I understand that. We just recently talked with you, right, about the social media engagement. So people, right, let's say on one post has like 5,000 views, but then the likes is like 100. So many people watching, but they maybe not want to support you, or they just careless. They just don't wanna push you.
Well, it's like, I think, a bit of passiveness in general, and it's like when you then jump out with like, when they're used to a certain kind of vibe, and then you kind of switch it up, and maybe you're a little bit, you say things that they're not expecting, right? Because they're on social media. Seeing like quite a sanitized version of everyone's lives, right?
Sanitized, good. Right. I love it.
Yeah, and then there's like this like authenticity or like brutal honesty that comes out, and they're like, oh, okay, like that's interesting.
Yeah, this is the you're also creator, and for you, of course, it's important because you put so much effort, so much work. Like right now, I see this setup is a lot of work. Guys, you've done already so many, right? So many series, so many podcasts. But then let's say, you see, oh, there's like, I don't know, like 2,000 views, right? But you were like expecting, oh, this one gonna boom, like now go viral.
Yeah.
And this one, I feel like
you can't think like that. It's not.
You can't.
Not,
I know. It's
never
worked.
Like some of the. I mean, even like I think I was looking at some statistic. I mean, the first thing is like, as long as you can do, if you can do more than 10 podcasts, you've done like more than 99% of people that start a podcast. And then really it's like, like the actual amount of views doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's like, do you get enjoyment out of it? And do you get feedback that encourages you to do it? And the rest, and also if like, I'd rather have like 100 people that I really know well listening and getting something out of
this
it
is
than
the
maybe
right
like,
thing.
I don't know, like 1,000 people
Yeah,
that.
true.
So
No,
yeah,
this is the
it's
way it is.
different. Yeah.
I agree with you because, of course, it's not all about engagement. I just talking about this because I'm also like content creator, and I know how the people out there feel, because they think, oh, this is like a short reel, probably 10 seconds, because
Right.
I know how much effort I put in that
Yeah.
10 second reel, But sometimes it's very unexpectedly, you do like something easy, just made it done for fun, right? This engagement is super high. So that's why it's we need to encourage ourselves, and I want to talk to all the creators and all the people who actually like even struggling, with some kind of like motivation, and they lose the hope, they feel like they are not worthy of something. Actually, like 90% out of their people who you meet, and they, let's say, smile, they enjoy their coffee, they are very bubbly, like I am on the events, because I cannot also go with the all like negativity, right?
Right.
Because it's the only way how you also can, a bit cherish yourself. But you're just not alone. I know,
Yeah.
I don't want to, because fashion, because everyone thinking fashion like this kind of like flat thing, right? But it's actually very deep inside. A lot of fashion creators I follow, they go through a lot of like breakdowns. And for us, for fashion people, especially for these beauty people, it's a bit harder than for some other creators, in the way of, we always want to be like perfect. Everyone gonna judge, I don't know, our makeup, our look, when you know what I mean? It's for us, it's really harder a bit. I don't underestimate. I mean, because we are
It's
about
too
the
much. Yeah,
look,
too much about the.
about the look.
Yeah,
And
the
look is
shallow
the
or like
really
the.
really harder, really
Yeah.
harder. It's always need to be maintained, because I know for myself, and I never say it actually out loud, because people like, well, it's not like I was directly bullied on social media, because I know the fly.
Sorry, and that flies.
She listened to me.
Yeah, trying to mess with you.
Well, people, of course, they never say it directly to my face, but I heard like from like rumors, small, very small society and stuff, small community here, and judging my look, because I was always, it's a very sensitive topic for me, because I was always struggling with my appearance, in the way of like gain weight, losing weight, and of course, when you're in fashion, it's really harder, especially when you're in Southeast Asia, and the genes of Asians is a bit different from Europeans,
Oh
right?
yeah, it's insane.
They're very like slim, thin, which is amazing, but you cannot compare yourself to others.
No,
And it's
no.
not about that. That's why I go through a lot of breakdowns, and not a lot of people know. This is very like exclusive content now. When I was 2021, I was going through the anorexia. So I had the pre-anorexia. I was like, and just because someone say, oh, they didn't say I'm fat or something. We did like some pictures, photo shoot, and then one guy say like, oh, like, like cover your belly, something like this. And, it just hit my,
Yeah.
And that time I'm very sensitive. I take everything close to my heart. It's still now, and until now. And this is for me very hard to filter. Maybe I could say, oh yeah, I don't care, but it's really like stuck on my mind. And that time I had like pre-anorexia, and since then my confidence is always like up and down, because like gain weight, lose weight, because I'm first time talking about this very honestly. Now I'm saying about like my mental health and physical health, which is very like connected to each other. And if my mental health is not in the right condition, and it's very affect my physical, and is also cause the, I don't know, gaining weight, I don't know, pimples, acne, breakdowns or something. That's what I actually going now through. So if you sometimes, it's really affect my mood in the way of, I really don't want to go event, because I say, oh, these people like, they're so like slim right now. There's some people now also like losing weight. I see a lot of creators, because this is the reality of the, the creator world. And I heard a lot of like harsh things like, you're a creator, you should always, pay attention to your look, which is true, but it's it's sometimes hard.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm like, I know it's a discipline and all of that, but sometimes it's a bit harder. I was working with therapists and talking about this too, but it's a lot of work. I still have a lot of work go through, but I'm on the way. I'm on my way to this, and I'm turning like soon 29, and now I'm realizing more like I can't like bounce like this anymore. I just want to do it like slowly, because before it was extreme. That's why when you have like anorexia or some, it's extreme, you know, and it's very bad for your health, and it's affect all your like future and stuff, which is that time it's really affect, because you know the metabolic system and all of
Right.
that. So the guys, girls, whoever like hear this right now, you are not the only one who's struggling, because not a lot of people can come out with this.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to really now like post and share more about this experience right now, because it's still related to my fashion thing. It's not like I'm switching, you know, to the therapy thing from fashion. It's really directly related to fashion and appearance and this, you know, entertainment world.
Yeah. I think I'd say like in general relating to that, like with me, like I think, you know, in your, I would say in my mid-20s, I mean, I guess we're about the same age. I'm 29, going to be 30 in May. So I'm a Taurus, so just the,
Before me.
yeah. And but yeah, I got here also when like in my, I mean, let's say I got here in my mid-20s, and I think in that period of your life you're still in this kind of like anything can hit me, like I can just do whatever, like, and I think, and of course then everyone was just stuck during COVID, and there's like this sort of 3-year period where you kind of just had to like stay where you were.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really like look over and like
Yeah.
have all these options. And then I'd say, yeah, for myself, like, yeah, I mean, last year went through it, probably one of the more challenging times for me mentally, because yeah, I had a breakup, had a new business that we were
All
launching,
together.
and then sadly my grandfather passed
Yes,
away.
yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like three things just, you know, in one year, and it's like, and you just got to sometimes just like take a moment and say, okay, how do I get back on like a healthier path? And the main thing for me that's helped is leaning more into like physical
Yes. Same,
like
yeah.
gym,
Yeah.
just having that like physical routine for when you are feeling like really just like fed up with everything. Like I go and do like kunkamai, and that's just like, that was just like,
Oh, I used
Yeah.
to do Muay Thai before.
Yeah.
I think it was the best time for me, even physically. I felt like so like well and so strong at the same time. But yeah, you know, at the moment, of course, I say, okay, like like tomorrow I go to gym, I gonna like, you know, exercise 2 hours. But I know already myself, because I have this always up and down,
Right.
you know, healthy. And then it's like, okay, again, like diet. And then again, that's why I'm doing it now, like very slow in my pace. And the only thing I'm learning right now, it's really like start to love myself, because I'm very like perfectionist in this way, and I'm always, you know, like bully myself,
Yeah.
which is really bad. It's very
Yeah.
toxic to
Right.
our, you know, our inner child. I'm not like, you know, now on Bali, the spiritual things, but it's true. That's actually how it works. This is the reality, you know, all this like connection thing with your own soul, because so many people, let's say they weight more, right? We never compare, but like let's say they weight more, but they're so confident and they feel so powerful in that. And I really admire by these people,
Right.
like it's amazing. But I'm not, because I remember myself when I was like, let's say 5 kilos less, I still was not satisfied with my look. Then I look at myself like 2 kilos less, and like I was so pretty,
Yeah.
right? I felt like, you know, I always compare myself. By that time I also wasn't satisfied, which is like, I can't imagine like how my inner child or my body feels like, excuse me, you don't like this, you don't like that, then be this. And then you still like, let's say, right, something even different, then you won't like it anyway. So why we need like to try harder, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning, and it's very important, and it's very hard work.
And I think, well, it's also just so important to have someone, like people around you that give you that positive reinforcement, and like don't like chip away at things, or like have like weird comments that will kind of get to you.
Yeah.
I think there's also, yeah. So,
I don't have actually. A lot of people think I have a lot, like lots of friends in Cambodia because this is how the social media right shows project. But I have like on one count like 1, 2, 3 something, people who really knows who I am,
Right.
who really saw me like in the like worst moments when I
Right.
touched the bottom, like how we say, right, and who really like understand because they also go through this. So it's it's hard to say it out loud because you feel like, oh, I'm so weak because all of them there, everyone's so strong around, but it's not.
No, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't exist.
Everyone is going through something,
I
or
think
like,
we all
yeah.
need to, because the power of, let's say, social media is so high right now, and people like, oh, especially those young kids, right, Gen Z, they're accepting everything, which is like, oh, this is so perfect, but it's so much like Photoshop. Even
Yeah.
I know, I mean, I can see or I know how it works. No, it doesn't work like this. That's why we need to filter. But in the way to filter, we need to be stronger. Like at least have this kind of blog. Like, oh, this is a social media. It's not always 100% true, and this is how it works.
And how have you? I mean, I guess like another topic would be like,
Yeah.
how have you seen like Cambodia did like kind of unfold as you've been here? I mean, you got here in 2020. I'm sure you've seen like you observed like a lot of change, and it's a lot of the stuff that you do, whether it's with prestige or like being on social media and all that kind of stuff, and going to all these events. What have you seen? What have been some like interesting things that you've observed in your time here?
Well, Cambodia is a very specific market, and it's gonna grow bigger for sure, and has a huge potential. So many like now businesses opening and entrepreneurs. All of that. It's still like some people say, oh, not developed much, but it's actually growing very fast. Even within these 5 years, it's like literally, I can see so much progress.
Yeah, just the skyline, right?
Yeah. It is. So Cambodia is. That's what this is important to share because a lot of like wars and genocide, historical background, people literally right now, right? They are exploring new things. They are getting like this knowledge when. Let's say when my mom was visiting here, she say, "Oh, like now Cambodia, I feel like it's like seems like Russia 10 years ago or 15 years ago." I mean, this is like mom, right? My mom say,
Yeah.
put everything on my mom. Well, and this is no, it's not their fault. It's because the historical,
Yeah.
what was happening, which
Yeah.
is happening in a lot of countries right now at the moment too. Like you step back, you don't step forward. But as I remember, Cambodia before actually was the number 1 in Southeast Asia before all this wars, Khmer Rouge torn apart. They were
Right,
number one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, the Khmer Empire was like #1 civilization on the entire planet in
Yes,
the 14th century.
that's why
right?
they should be like so proud
Yeah,
of
yeah.
themselves. That's why I think Cambodia is very
I mean,
powerful, yeah.
Angkor Wat's
Yeah.
bigger than the pyramids. Right?
Yes, exactly. It's
Yeah.
one of the wonder, and
Yeah.
Cambodia, Kingdom of Wonder.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah.
It's very spiritual for me, like very spiritual place. And a lot of people say, oh, Cambodia like accept you or not accept you. Like Bali accept you, not accept you.
Yeah.
Same Cambodia. And I feel this is the power of the country, even though they are let's say smaller, right, than some other like around like Vietnam or Thailand. But the power is still here, and the only way I can see now, I'm very glad it's happening, the new generation coming.
Right.
So the new generation of Khmer, at least Gen Z, are they mixed or doesn't matter, or they study abroad, they bringing now all the knowledge they get abroad to their country,
which is so like I think in Thailand the average age, a lot of people don't know this, but the average age of a Thai person is 42. Like it's like, so they don't really they don't have all that many people coming back anymore.
Yes.
The society's gotten older, and whereas like Cambodia is still like 26, 27
Oh,
average
that's
age.
amazing. You see, so
yeah.
the new generation is actually, they really, they need to rely on them. That's why they need to, to grow stronger as some kind of like protect their own country and their own heritage. It's very important. Because me, even being a foreigner in Cambodia for 5 years, whenever I'm going like outside, go to Singapore, go to Thailand, all these like fashion weeks or events I'm attending, I'm very proudly say where I'm based, and I'm talking very high about Cambodia.
Yeah, and people are like, huh?
Yes,
What?
yes. Like Singapore, like since some Singaporeans friends, oh, is it safe? Like, this kind of,
Yeah.
I say, and then they see my social media, they say, is it Cambodia? I say, yeah,
Yeah.
we have so many things happening. We have this, recently was a Bulgari event in
Yeah.
Siem Reap. Amazing, like so
Yeah.
many, and it's good. We need to continue doing that. And the
No,
only
if Singapore keeps not paying attention, they'll be eclipsed in no time.
yeah, they always go like I see they go Thailand and all the like because I always inviting my Singaporean friends. I say,
I honestly think like I don't think Bangkok really has much charm anymore.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like
Very,
I think it's very like
commercial.
yeah, and
I
just
know.
too touristy and just like it's almost just like Sin City of Asia. Like I just feel like it has no
Yeah, like very hyped
charm.
and cliche. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I agree with you, and especially of course with whoever like coming first time. Of course, I'm pushing for Siem Reap, especially if they have like very short time. I say Siem Reap, it's must.
Yeah, you got to at least that's slightly more authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really like promote, and whenever I travel outside, I also try to bring more and collect more, like let's say Khmer designers to showcase there, to do some projects, to to do some photo shoots.
Yeah.
And I think this is really because they're always asking me, oh, where is this outfit coming from? Like in Singapore, especially on the events, I say, oh, this is Cambodian designer. This is Cambodian designer. This is, by the way, you see, made in Cambodia.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
awesome.
a new brand. They just launched like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
It's a new streetwear, very comfortable. I was always looking. They have the whole set. I was always looking for something like, comfy. And this is also the new generation creates.
Yeah, there's the fashion of the new generation. I like just noticed.
very
I'm like,
proper.
it's so cool.
Very
Everyone's
cool.
so cool. Yeah.
And I would encourage all the people who are like, let's say, then they afford all these like luxury brands. They should also pay attention to the local brands.
Yes. No,
They put so much effort.
No, that's where it's. I mean, that's where it evolves to, right? Yeah.
They put so much effort. They do like all this like things like handmade,
Yeah.
all these stitches, because I know some of my friends, they're working, let's say, doing one suit like 2 weeks, and it's like all handmade.
Yeah.
And of course it's still like, price wisely is a bit like less than, I don't know, Gucci and all of those other brands, luxury brands.
Right.
Which is amazing, and it's so unique.
Yeah.
It's so unique. That's why I'm very admired by Cambodian designers, but young Khmer designers, and I always try to promote them more overseas. It's my goal too. It's my mission, because whenever I live in a new country, I feel like I'm very attached, and that's why I learn about the local food, about the history, about everything, because that's the only way I feel like I can show my respect being here. Because a lot of my friends, even local friends, they say you are more Khmer than us. You know more local food. You know more, I don't know, Khmer designers. You know more Khmer like places where to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, I'm glad to hear that. It's very important.
Well, and what do you think are like the biggest challenges Cambodia has?
The biggest challenge that right now we still, it's actually I want to pay attention to this and say out loud for all the young generation, because I think they need to be more inspired by what they originally have here, than let's say to copy Thai style.
Yeah.
If we're talking about fashion, Vietnamese style, I see a lot of like influencers, right? We copy a bit of this, a bit of that, instead of creating the new thing. Like make something when people say, oh, this is like, it's not, there is this Khmer style, right? Which is not always, it's not very flattering when you say, oh, this Khmer style, It should be something what will make you unique on the international, on the international scene. And just create our own things, not try to copy Vietnam, Thai, whoever, like all these countries around. We can be inspired, but we still need to create a lot of our things. Because I even see the creators, literally what I've seen, let's say a few days ago on some Vietnamese influencer, literally the same. It's coming out in few days from the Khmer influencer, instead of creating the new thing. It's not only about the viral. You would be viral if you create something unique.
Right.
That's why we all called, I hate the word when they say, oh, you're influencer.
Yeah, what do you call yourself?
Content creator.
Content
Creator,
yeah.
creator in general. I hate the word influencer because it's also, a lot of people ask like, oh, what's your influence about?
Yeah.
It's very deeper. Influencer, the superstars are influencers because they're really influencing. If they say today, oh, I wanna, if they're wearing today these shoes, next day they are sold out. This is the influence they got. So it's not they are influencers, they are they are singers, they are actors, they just have this influence on other people because they are these idols. But for me it's a creators. We are creators, you are creator, I call myself creator because the creators, they doing a bit, I think it's more deeper topic. That's how you can acknowledge people, how you can share to teach to teach people something new. This is creators do.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. And who would you say you look up to the most in terms of like, where do you get your inspiration from for the work that you do?
Honestly, for me, it's like I wouldn't say oh, I'm like showing off, but I really maybe get inspired. But at the end of the day, even though I inspired, let's say by some look, I create completely different thing. It's not even like similar, but I got inspiration, and then it's like converting something new. Let's say I wear suit, and then I style, and then it looks completely different. Even today, right? It's a bit like street style, but then a bit with the like this chokers. This is my particular style. I like cuffs, all of these things. This is my signature thing. Yeah. This is my unique style about that. So I like to create new things, and that's what I encourage other people to do, because you cannot also, when I do styling, because the fashion stylist, I do personal styling as well, right? Fashion stylist is the person, is not who gonna turn you into themselves, to complete, okay, I will, you should wear like this. No, because everyone has their different goal, they have different appearance, they have different body shape and all of that, and they need to find their personal style. Because a lot of like Anna Wintour, right? She's very famous in the fashion scene, and we know her for she always wearing those glasses. She always have this bob carré, the hairstyle. She always elegant. She always on the heels. This is Anna Wintour. So we have our association. So all of us, we are, especially in fashion industry, we need to create that look. Particular. Oh, this is like very Shasne style, for example. This is very like Max style. Even in the way of content. If someone will start to do now like podcast, they still need to find their own niche and doing it a bit different to be different from you.
Right.
Otherwise, people, because you're already the first person, right? I mean, not the first one, but like you doing this thing.
Yeah.
And they can be inspired, but they still need to find the new format. It's really hard. You cannot
just be
copy.
Authentic to yours. Yeah, you can. That's why everyone says, "Oh, you want like the people will send me like a new podcast launching," and there have been some, but they normally, I would just say, okay, let's see if they get to 10 episodes.
Yes.
That's normally, to be honest, that's normally the thing. It's
yes.
Like, a lot of people think it's like a cool thing to do. And then they start doing it and they realize it's hard to remain consistent on it.
It's cool, but it's hard. So much work behind. You cannot just you really need to find the power and consistency, especially.
Yeah. Like since we launched, I think, there's been like probably another 5 to 10 podcasts that we have been aware of that have since kind of, stopped because they didn't, for whatever reason, it just didn't work for them. But the one guy that we really do admire, who's obviously the number one podcaster in Cambodia is Supek Cheng, right? From Reen. We were able to go on his podcast. But of course, it's like a different kind of vibe, different kind of topic.
Oh, I've been backstage. Because one of my friend was also doing the interview with him. Oh my God.
He's like, for lack of it, he's like the Joe Rogan of Cambodia, right?
He's a giant, right? He's a giant already, not rising, already like giant.
Yeah. But he did start, I think, I can't remember when he started, but like around the same time as us. And
oh, really? I thought he's longer, no?
Or a bit later. I think it was around the same time as us, sometime during COVID. But he he more focuses actually. We were just doing quite a lot of quantity, and I think he's done nearly 100 so far. But he focuses on really like the quality, like how do you make this like and have a much longer episode. Whereas for us, we were doing like like 45 minutes, just quickly go for it. But actually, I think as time goes on, we realize like we will need to be more intentional, and just like not make it like a chore. We have to like, and we sit and have it be a bit more free flow as opposed to like
you always
sound
can
more like business, right?
Upgrade. You always
Yeah.
can. It's always the way you improve, anyways. But yeah, he's actually really amazing. I saw his setup is like so many cameras around. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. Yeah, you saw, right? The
yeah.
cameras everywhere. I'm like, this point. I'm like, and it's a lot of course, investment.
Yeah, so me and Dom, the other podcast co-host and my business partner, we went on in October of 2023, and then it was released in December. It was great, but it was very intense because you've got all these like. I mean, I guess in here we've got a bit of that, but like his is it's another level.
But I actually really like love and support those like content creators, influencers. I could call them influencer because they are in a good way. Sometimes influencer, in a good way because they are really doing it for. They're really sharing those kind of like knowledge, what we say, right? There is one of them, maybe Kema. He's also like doing TikTok. His TikTok is quite big.
I think I have heard this guy.
The guy in the glasses, right? Okay. He always very consistent about the Cambodian news. He's always doing those like short videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
Then he does a lot like YouTube, Instagram. I really admire because I know so much work behind that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of talking,
right.
which is a bit harder than just aesthetic videos, of course, because that's why now I'm also shifting a bit the format. I want to do more, maybe start finally to talk. I used to talk, but then also because this insecurity, I start like close myself, just this beautiful picture or beautiful video, beautiful this perfect makeup, no make. I mean, without makeup, never go online, for example.
Right.
It's very unhealthy.
Right.
Actually, people really love to see you without makeup.
Right.
No, maybe still not like dressed and stuff, but that's how it is. We need, because nowadays people so tired of all these filters, all these Photoshop things. They want to see the real people.
Yeah, they want to see.
And now
real.
AI is taking over. Oh my god! Yeah. I recently also collaborate with one of like AI creator. She generate for me the images and we discuss. It's huge work behind to make it really, because some people really think it's a real image. They say, oh, where's this dress coming from? I'm like, well, and I'm very inspired. And this is only one of the new field I would love to explore by myself. I want to learn how to edit all of these things. I think it's cool and it gives new direction also to upgrade your content.
Right. And so what are you most excited about for the year ahead?
Well, it's coming closer to my, not like very close, but like June is my birthday, which means, when you pass this like a half year, you always feel like, oh, there is only like half of this year left. So, I haven't done so many things. I really focusing right now, it's number one priority. It's my physical and mental health. Because without that, I can't be stronger on social media. I can't come out like, strong with something, wow, new, boom, because I don't feel it. That's why this is like very important. I always was like, later, this and that.
Yeah.
I can't. It's very extreme, it's very extreme for me. So it's very number one priority right now. The other thing, I really need to figure out how to see my family.
Yeah.
Because it's insane. 6 years, it's too much. Before, I was feeling, I'm like, doesn't matter, we can meet somewhere. But my grandparents, they can't travel that long and go to see me, and it's a bit selfish. Like, sure. Can you come here? Like,
well, they're them coming. Yeah.
And I really miss. Really miss. And I heard recently like it's very important to go back to like your home, go back to your roots, like to be grounded.
Yes.
I feel like I need it now.
Yeah.
I feel very I wouldn't say weak, but kind of like, power is, like is coming a bit down. That's why mental, physical health. And that's why
Yeah, I
I
think
need to
well,
figure it out.
Phnom Penh, I think it can be a bit of a bubble, right? And it can feel like a bit.
It's very small.
Yeah.
The community is so small. That's why it's also very hard. Literally everyone knows each other,
Right.
which is extra pressure.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't like you, they will like spread, and then like, oh, this part doesn't like you, this and that. I heard so many rumors. Some of them are really like out of nowhere, like literally zero, zero, zero behind, nothing
Yeah.
even close to the reality. But also one more my thing, maybe it's in Southeast Asia, they love drama.
Yes.
People love drama everywhere, but probably because here is very small community, here you can see it clearly.
Yeah.
People love drama, and without drama there is no big engagement, there is no a lot of views and
Yeah.
all of that, all these live streams, people scolding each other, post stories, hating each other. It's the reality. We cannot step out, but
Well, everyone like has to be so like polite, right?
Yeah.
Or like in general, that's the culture, right? It's like when you're walking around, like
Yeah.
in general, people are polite. So maybe like so almost social media and all that is like is like the outlet to
Yeah.
kind of be a bit more dramatic.
Yeah, that's why, when I even like do something, and now I feel less pressured probably by engagement, but before I was, now I feel like, oh, okay, let's say 200 people like it. I'm like, I'm so grateful. It's 200 people out of there really like it, and they really want
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
see it, right? Then the views 5,000, like, wow, 5,000 people watch it.
Yeah.
Either they like it or not like it, they still have some feelings and emotions about that. That's why it's already meaningful for me. So this is like kind of the perspective I'm recently looking at, even what I'm doing on social media and what I'm doing in my life. Everything should have like, the purpose.
Right. Right. Well, on that note, we want to thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
And we've learned so much about your background and everything that you're going through and like how you're trying to evolve your content creator journey. So thank you. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Follow for more Rising Giants. Thank you very much.